South Hills, my name is Morgan Little, and I am the BSM Director, Baptist Student Ministry Director at Tarleton Fort Worth, and I get to work alongside Daniel Winkler, who is the BSM Director at TCC Trinity River. We get to work with college students, and we really love what we get to do. We get to share the gospel, we get to disciple students, we get to train them, and we just get to be a part of seeing the Lord completely transform their lives. And as we do our work on campus, a big part of the reason that we get to be there is because of your support and partnership in what we do. When we planted the BSM a couple of years ago, part-time at the Camp Bowie location, your church showed up with food and showed up with smiling faces, and you served campus well. And that helped us earn favor with campus, and so they allow us to keep coming back. And your church faithfully shows up and serves, and we are just really grateful for you, the way that you partner with us to see the gospel taken to the students at Tarleton Fort Worth. As an organization, we strive to love God, serve campus, and wave the Jesus flag. We want to be known as a people that love God and serve people from that love for God. But most importantly, we want to be known as the people that love Jesus and desire to see the people around us come to know Christ. I think college ministry is so important because college students are in a huge, pivotal, transformative moment of their life. For the first time, they're finding out who they are without mom and dad. They're finding out who they are without cliques. They're finding out who they are without the beliefs of their family, or maybe the lack thereof. They're stepping out to decide who they want to be and what they want to be a part of. And as college ministers and as the church, we get to stand in the gap with those students, and we get to say, this is who God is. This is what Jesus did for you, and this is why he wants to have a relationship with you. Would you let God transform your life? And we get to be a part of introducing them into something that is completely life-changing and training and equipping them to take that to others. The gospel came to us on its way to someone else, and we don't want to be a people that doesn't share the gospel, therefore the gospel stops with me, and we don't want our students to be that either. And so we strive to train our students to take the gospel to the people that they go to next. The cliche saying that today's college students are tomorrow's leaders, man, it's true. The college students that we train and mobilize today are the college students that go into the workforce tomorrow. Some of our college students may leave and be missionaries overseas, but the reality is not all of them will. Most of our students are going to step into the classroom and become teachers. They're going to become nurses and doctors. They're going to become first responders. They're going to become lawyers. They may become police officers. They are going to be the people that are stepping out into our world and serving those around them. And we get the opportunity to mobilize them to be missionaries wherever they go. Think about today, living in a world of COVID-19. What if you have a college student? What if you have a college student that graduates as a nurse or goes on to med school and leaves med school to become a doctor? And they learned how to trust and follow God on the college campus, and they learned how to teach others to do the same. And then in tomorrow's pandemic, they're the ones sitting in the ERs holding the hands of the people that are terrified and losing their life, saying, I know this is awful, but God has more for you. We get to be the ones that mobilize them. One of my dearest friends graduated from Tarleton BSM several years ago and went on to be a teacher. And as a teacher, she loved her students so well that they became curious about what made her different. And outside of the classroom, they began to inquire, why are you different? And their curiosity about her sparked their curiosity about God, because God is what made her different. And this high school teacher got to see some of her high school students come to know the Lord. College ministry is so important because they don't stay on the college campus forever. We equip them, we train them, and we mobilize them to send them wherever it is that they're going. Some of the different ways that we do that are through our Bible studies on campus. Our Bible studies are set up so that believers and non-believers alike can come and they can ask questions and they can be trained. We desire our believers to come to these Bible studies and to see that leading others is possible, it's doable, it's reproducible. And so we train these believers in how to go and lead these Bible studies among their lost friends. We create an environment that welcomes lost people in because, let's be real, as a Christian, I have questions I'm scared to ask. Don't you think that non-believers do too? And so we want to create an environment where these non-believers come and they feel safe and they're exposed to the gospel, they're able to ask their questions, and they're invited into a relationship with God each time they study Scripture. The gospel is so important. and taking the gospel to the people around us is vital. And one of the ways that we as a ministry do that is through being missional. We send our students through what we call Go Now Missions, which is the Texas BSM sending organization, and through mission trips on their local church. But even more so, we challenge our students to be missional where they're at. The gospel came to them on its way to someone else, and we don't want them to forget that. I think one of my favorite stories right now is this last week I met with a student, and she just started a new job and has befriended some girls at work, and she's been living life with them outside of work. And these girls have made it really clear that they're not believers, that they aren't religious at all, but they're willing to spend time with her. She just found out that one of them is transferring to Tarleton and Stephenville in the fall, and she's beginning to ask the question, what would it look like for me to love her so well that when she gets to Tarleton, she wants to hang out with Christians because she knows that they can be trusted? How can I connect her with my Christian friends? And she's beginning to look at what is it going to take for me to love her in such a way here that when she gets here, she is around people who will be ready to share the gospel with her when she moves into a space where she is ready to receive it. That is what is so important about what we do, is training students to be missional wherever they're going. As we move into this fall, there are several things that we're praying for. COVID-19 makes everything unpredictable, including college ministry. Right now, we'll be on campus in the fall, but nobody really knows what August holds. So we are praying that God would be just really intentional in speaking to Daniel and I and showing us how and where we need to serve campus. We're also asking that the Lord would make us really aware of the students that come through the doors come August. Social distancing means smaller class sizes, which means fewer people on campus at a time, which means we could have the opportunity to know every single person that walks through that door by name. So that's one of our goals for this next year, is we're looking at smaller class sizes and taking advantage of just a really inconvenient situation. We are really grateful for you, South Hills. We're grateful for your partnership, and we look forward to continue working with you.